Hi, welcome to the channel. Just a starting note to say that I'm doing a channel giveaway because I've hit 9,000 subscribers and I want to give something back, so make sure you watch to the end for details. So back to this video. I've been doing 3D printing since December last year, so that's about 4 months, and I've not stopped the whole time. It's been ridiculous the amount of stuff I've printed, and I've loved every minute of it. However, does it work to print for 40k, and is it worth it? Well, I've been printing for other game systems with great success, and I talked on this video about how I printed 2 full armies for Legions Imperialis. This was quick and cheap on my resin printer as models are so small. It's perfect as I don't particularly have anyone to play with in my friendship group, and so having 2 armies myself means I get to have a game. I print for Horus Heresy with great success as well. There are 2 challenges with printing Heresy. One is that model availability is low and that they are stupidly expensive, and 2, some kits for factions just aren't sold in plastic or sold at all. Printing Legion shoulder pads and heads seems a no-brainer as it's so cost effective. And it's also good for printing things like heavy weapon options, shields and junk packs. Let's talk about White Scars for instance. I'm building a biker heavy narrative force and there's only 1 kit available. The Golden Keshig Rider, and it's a cool model. Now your eyes don't deceive you, that is £39 for 1 model in the UK, and that's if they're even in stock. And I need 18 of them for my list, and I'm not spending £700 for just 1,000 points of game models. On comes the 3D printed version. I printed these solids to the sturdy, and a plate of 6 of these cost less than £3. Not forgetting the special heads I really want. They've got to be bald with ponytails and goatees. Next I'm getting into the old world, but I've never actually played before this version, and I'm really enjoying it, and also really enjoying the content on YouTube. Shout out to the Square Base podcast. I've now got a full 3D printed dwarf army. Fantastic 3D sculpts from Highland Miniatures and really worth it. There aren't kits to buy for most factions, and I don't want rubbish old kits that are hard to clean and build, or worse still, metal kits. And let's be honest, I don't have a big playing group near me, and when I started I didn't even know if I'd like it. So starting off as cheaply as possible is a great idea. Now I've had a few games, I really do like it, so I'm actually getting excited about the new dwarf reveals. But liking a lot of other factions as well, do I buy models? Do I print them? That's for a different video. When am I getting to the point of this video about 40k, I hear you asking? Well, I've had great success building and playing with other game systems, so does that carry forward to 40k? I love the mechanical Tyranids from the Iron Hive collection, they look fantastic, so I decided to take them to a tournament recently. Now I know the crowd and knew they wouldn't mind proxies like this. Essentially the rule of cool wins. Now I wanted to take 9 Pyrovores, and the original models are £30 for 1, so that's even with the discount over £200. These models were great, the whole army looked fantastic together, but I think if you mix and match with original models it could look a little jarring. It's likely a lot of tournaments probably won't allow them as well. Here's the first big problem though, it's how brittle 3D prints actually are. While this Pyrovore was pretty sturdy, this Zoanthrope version is as flimsy as anything, and I've already broken one just doing this filming. This has happened to a few of them now, and it's completely shattered. On the one side, I've not spent a lot of money, but I have spent time building and painting them, so that does feel like a lot of waste. You can pay more money for less brittle resin, but not for water washable, which is what I use. Take another example. I printed off 18 Blood Crushers for another tournament, and because they're copies of GW models, they're okay to take to tournaments. Because they're actually good sculpts, there's lots of fine detail and spikes, but literally, things break all the time. Every spike, horn, sword, banner seems to break all the time when I play with them, and so I'm probably going to have to just buy them all again. So was it worth it for these? It would have been £195 to buy them, and at the time they weren't in stock anywhere. So in that factor, yes, it was worth it. It did take quite a long time to print everything, and then of course I've got 18 models to paint up. So the fact that I'm now going to have to buy originals and redo it all just feels like a massive waste of time. Let's look at some successes then. The Necron Transcendent Catan doesn't exist as a model except part of a £105 massive kit. I'm pretty sure most people use 3D printed versions. I went for a proxy I particularly like, so the rule of cool comes into effect. Also the Nightbringer is a rubbish model, so I use a proxy from Creature Casters, but there's also one from Den of Imagination which is much better. The other day I thought about playing with the Blue Scribes for my Demons army, but I didn't want to buy a Finecast model, so I found a sculpt, printed it off, and actually the quality is better than the original. If you're a follower of the channel, then you'll also know that I love massive models, and these are often Forge World. Take the Gargantuan Squigoth and the Revenant title for example, both can be played in 40k. The Orc Gargantuan Squigoth is actually great in game, but costs £320 from GW, or £135 if you buy it from China, so printing one yourself makes a lot of financial sense. And I found this one from Gearguts Met Shop, and I've played with it in tournament and it's been brilliant. And the Eldar Revenant Titan, which is 1,100 points in game, is 265 points from GW, but actually only 50 if you get it from China. And yet, I still printed one, and it was cheaper than that. So does it work to print 40k models then? If you print and enjoy the process, you want to save money, you like using proxies in game, then there's so many possible sculpts out there that you can use. If you find things break a lot, then it can really spoil a paint job, and having to replace it means that's wasted effort. In terms of hobby time, it can be quicker to print an army than to build official models. In terms of actual time doing stuff, when printing, of course, there's a lot of time waiting around for prints to finish. The worry is if tournaments don't accept the models, you can always ask ahead for the TO, and then do they even last, or do you have to rebuy them? So if they're thin, detailed, spiky or delicate, I don't actually think it's worthwhile printing them, just buy the originals. Whereas if they're single special pieces, you might take extra care of them or buy the better, more durable resin. Just ask a TO ahead of a tournament to make sure you can bring them. If you like big Forge World kits, these are often super expensive. These things are massive and do take quite a long time to print, but well worth it. The ultimate answer is play with models that you enjoy, because the rule of cool does win out. And now it's time to announce the channel giveaway. Because I've hit 9,000 subscribers, I'm going to do a similar thing as I've done before. The winner will get a box of models that are then commission painted to their specific standards. I posted things for winners in the UK, Europe or US, so I don't really mind. And it's just a big thank you. So all you have to be is a subscriber and comment on this video, and then I'll pick the winner in a week. There's a second draw for channel members only, and members also get an extra entry into the big draw, and they can win twice. So make sure to comment on the video so you get entered, or to talk to me about 3D printing, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!